Well, welcome back everybody. My name is Andrew and you're watching the Kelly's Country Life. So today we're going to try to finish out the bathroom. This is the last of the interior walls that I have to do in the entire house. Then we can move on to attic rafters. Now today is something I have never done before. I've tried to do as much research as I can, but I am going to lean on y'all for this. I have never framed out a custom shower before. We're going to do full custom pan, custom tile, everything. I'll be hiring somebody to do that portion. Just would make me feel a whole lot better. But as far as the framing goes today, I've tried to look up as many different designs on YouTube and get some suggestions from contractors as I could, because we're going to be building a short wall today, kind of like a pony wall or a stub wall that's not going to attach to the roof. And I'm very concerned about wobble. It's going to have to support a glass door. So I'm going to do a lot of extra blocking and framing in it to try to make sure it's sturdy. Now you're probably wondering, why are we going to do a short shower wall, not go all the way to the roof? This is a small bathroom overall, so natural light is key to making it feel lit up, making it feel large. So we figured if we went with a short wall right here when you're inside bathing, all this natural light we're letting in with this huge bathroom window should come over the wall, fill the room, and constantly make it feel well lit. I have noticed with small bathrooms, if you don't have a window or don't allow that natural light in here, they kind of feel like a small dungeon. So that's the biggest reason that we wanted to do that right there. So I'm going to block it out today the way that I feel is best. We're about to lay out all the measurements. If you see anything that you think I'm doing wrong or have a better way of doing it, I don't mind tearing something out if the majority of people agree that, hey, this is a better way to do it right here. So let's get started. So I've been out here for longer than I care to admit, literally hours, measuring, sitting, thinking, checking residential building codes, everything I can come up with. The problem that I have is this plumbing is right in the way. The wall needs to be 1.5 inches further this direction to have everything perfectly centered. The problem with that is, if I put this wall 1.5 inches over, I cannot create a nailing strip for the concrete backer board for the tile to go, because this plumbing is in the way. So I have to move the wall over 1.5 inches, so this stud now becomes the lip that my backer board can go on. It's driving me crazy because I had everything set up to where this was going to be in the center of the shower. Now that's not going to be the case. I'll set the right 1.5 inches that way. So there's only two options I see. Bring this wall out 1.5 inches or move the shower out 1.5 inches. And as you can see, the shower already looks huge. Now you're going to lose space once you add 1/2 inch backer board on either side, your thin set, your rubberized undercoating, then your tile. I mean, ultimately you're going to wind up probably losing a couple inches or more in your shower. But overall, this thing is huge. And I'm having to make it 1.5 inches bigger than planned. I don't like it being closer to the toilet, but I'm still 3 inches above minimum code, but nobody wants to be minimum. Okay, well, I'll admit this took way longer than I was ever expecting. There was so much blocking and strengthening to do in here. I just didn't realize it. So I have done everything I possibly could to reinforce this corner, all the way from stacking multiple 2x4s back there, bracing it over to another 2x4, bracing this 2x4 over to another one here with spacers, nailing, screwing, putting everything together I can. So there is literally 4 2x4s now holding this wall right here. There is a tiny, and I mean a tiny little bit of play. I'm still not quite done doing some things and suggestions that I have, but overall it's quite tight. I mean, it's just got the ever tiny little bit of flex in it. Now this whole wall is still loose and wobbly, so I can't really judge this just yet until I get some rafters up, run some blocking across, and really reinforce these walls. Now you're probably wondering why on earth I just did all this big blocking in here. Again, I am no expert. This is just what I seen online. People suggested putting 2x8s in, so whenever you lay your rubber membrane down in here, it kind of goes up and they have somewhere to attach to with all this blocking. So you can see that I have went around and blocked the entire shower out, as well as built the curb up too. Now I do want to ask y'all's opinion. If you have any experience tiling, do I need to do 3 blocks high to bring the rubber membrane over, or is 2 for the curb good enough? It's real easy at any point down the road to add a 3rd block right in there. I can do that in just a couple of minutes. So that's why it's blocked the way that it is. Now you're probably looking at this little space right here going, how on earth is that going to be a laundry closet? Well, we've got a couple of options. One option's pretty cool. We're actually looking at building a shelving system that goes in here on casters, so I can pull the entire thing out into the room, and you can kind of roll and put your towels, washcloths, everything up in there and have a tremendous amount of storage in a small amount of space. The other thing that I could do is just build shelving, stop back in here about as far as you could reach, and just do kind of a little pantry door right here. So we got a couple of options, but the plans and our thought process calls for putting something on casters here that'll go in. It'll look like a pantry door that opens, but when you grab a hold of it, you pull that out into the entire room, and it'll actually give you a heck of a lot of storage. Now, we don't really do a lot of towels and washcloths. We do whites on, we don't do colored towels, all that stuff. We don't need a huge laundry closet. We didn't at our last house. We don't need one here. Obviously living in a camper, we don't have one either, so we're kind of used to that. So we got a lot of different options here. This was kind of dead space. We didn't want to make the shower even bigger in this bathroom, so it was something to play with. Architect kind of drew up this little size for us, and like I said, the idea was spawned of, hey, let's just build a little shelving system on casters. That could change as the house build goes on. I mean, we really don't even have to use this space, period, but we're going to utilize it. Even though it's small, it is big enough to do something with. So overall, the shower is framed in. Unless I hear some suggestions from y'all and things I need to change or add to it, I'm going to stop until eventually I hire a tile guy. I'll let him come in and tell me if he needs any additional framing and wants to make some changes. Either I can do them or he can do whatever he feels that he needs to kind of get this project done. Custom shower pans and tile is something that's a little out of my league. I think I want to leave that to the professionals, so it turns out looking as good as it possibly can. But overall, the shower is gigantic. It's right at 44 inches wide by 6 foot long. I mean, tons of room in here. Some people are going to ask why we didn't do a bench. I personally don't care for benches. I don't like the space that they take up. And we can get some of those teak accessories, teak benches that can fold up that you can move around anywhere in here should you need it. I've got it framed out for a glass door that'll come with a frame, as well as you've seen that I put a niche, I think is what they call it, shower niche or niche. It's a shelf basically. I know I'm not pronouncing it correctly. So I put one right here, and I built it out big enough that we can put Tiffany's biggest shampoo bottles in here, even with a pump sprayer. And I tried to go ahead and allow for the 1/2-inch backer board material that'll wrap over in there, plus the thin setting tile. Obviously, we've got a huge shelf and lip up here where the window's going, but I don't want everything to be cluttered up there. There is certain things that go up there, like shower soap bars that we don't want right here in the splash zone that's just gonna get washed out and leave, kind of a residue everywhere. But I figured this would be a nice little area to put multiple shampoo bottles and have them right there in easy reach whenever the shower head's coming down to you. So hopefully y'all have enjoyed this build up to this point. I guess we can say the interior walls are officially done. From this point on, we are moving over to attic rafters. That's what's coming up next. Thank y'all so much for watching.